Officially live. Taylor Benst isn't here this week, so I'm taking over again. My name's Emily Pillmore. I'm the PACT team lead. And today we've got some folks from Eucalyptus Labs joining us, and they are going to tell us about their various goings-on, and we're going to answer some questions from the chat, and you know the drill. So here are Kobe Lazar, the CEO of Eucalyptus Labs, and Tim, their CTO. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. Hey, Emily, pleasure to be with you. Hey, Cadenians, happy to see everyone in the chat. I know Tyler isn't here. I tried to grab a pink sweater hoodie. I didn't find one in my luggage, so I'll try my best to keep up with the jokes and the puns. My name is Kobe, and I'm the CEO or head Koala at Eucalyptus Labs. What we do is create a lot of infrastructure on Cadena, such as Koala Wallet, one of the outstanding wallets that supports Cadena and its 20 chains, and also some new infrastructure such as the Explorer we just launched, and some alpha we're going to get into later in the space. I've been with this team now. I get to call myself CEO, but really I'm just the glue that holds about 10 people together over about 5, 6, and even some people with us for 7 or 8 years at a previous firm. That's how I met Tim. We were working on this big multi-wallet asset solution together, and we said, we're answering too many questions for like 30, 40 blockchains. Let's specialize and focus on one, Cadena. Let's work on a wallet solution and a bunch of other solutions to answer some big questions. And that's how we are here today after a year at Eucalyptus Labs. So I'll let Tim take it away.
Hey, everyone. How many people we got on the stream at the moment?
I don't actually know. I don't think I can see.
We've got...
Anyone can view, so it's a...
Nice.
We got 41 watching.
Cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, Mom. I'm sure she's watching too.
Is this your first one, Tim?
So I'm Tim, the CTO and co-founder of Eucalyptus Labs. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, USA, but I've been living in Germany, southern Germany, south of Munich now, for about 14 years now, how the time flies. Prior to that, like Kobe said, I was CTO at Koinami for about 1.5 years. Prior to that, I was CTO and co-founder at Gnome. That's a small startup company out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's a startup in the AI field, specifically neuromorphic processors using memristors as synapses. If you haven't heard of a memristor before, it's a relatively new type of electrical component, sort of like a resistor whose resistance changes based on how much current flows through it. So if you pair two of them together, you can create this synapse and start building up neurons in bigger and more complex hierarchies to solve machine learning problems at a hardware level. It's pretty cool. Prior to that, I pursued degrees in physics at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, a bachelor's degree in physics. Then I got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities. And then at the University of Washington in Seattle, I got a master's degree in electrical engineering. Around 2011, late 2011, I believe it was, in early 2012, I stumbled upon Satoshi's white paper on Reddit. I think the Bitcoin subreddit at that point had, 10,000. It was just after the peak to $30 and the crash back down to $1. I remember as it was picking up, I think I wired over $1 to Mt. Gox at that point and bought a third of a Bitcoin or something, right? When they were $3 each. Unfortunately, I don't have those anymore, just like everyone's story. But anyway, that's how I got into crypto back in the day. I remember really being fascinated by it, and I wanted to dig into the code to understand. I'm usually driven by curiosity and big challenges, and this was the perfect opportunity, something I wanted to dive into deeper. I remember contacting the two developers of the multi-bit wallet. That was one of the most popular Bitcoin wallets. I think after the main core wallet had a nicer UI. Through them, I also got in contact with Mike Hearn. He was one of the original developers of Bitcoin J. And I asked the guys, how can I help make this wallet better? And actually had to dig into the old emails from back then to remind myself of how this all went down. But yeah, so I emailed them, asked them how I could help with the wallet. And they said, you know what we're missing in the wallet? Prices. Of course, back in the day, the only exchange out there really was Mt. Gox. So I said, okay, how can we get prices in here? And I came to know that Mt. Gox actually had an API for prices. So I started writing some Java code. My favorite programming language is Java. I've been doing it since I think 1998 during my computational physics classes at the university. And
that's
so
when I got started with my first language of English. But
yeah, yeah, right.
It was mine too, unfortunately.
Really, Java?
Yeah.
Nice.
Java
That's
and
awesome.
Perl.
Yep, cool. Yeah, so I made a quick little simple Java interface to the Mt. Gox API. I remember writing some emails directly to Mark. What was his last name? Karapolis or whatever.
Karapolis, yeah. Asking
him about certain API endpoints and why it's crashing and stuff like that. And after a little bit, I realized a lot of other people, or not people, but developers probably also have an interest of getting access to Mt. Gox's API. So I actually made an open source library at that time, and I called it Exchange. And the first implementation of an interface to these different what turned out to be multiple exchanges was Mt. Gox. Then we added, I think, Kraken, and there was one called Trading Hill or Trade Hill, like that, something like that. And then another one out of Colorado, something with a bull or something. I don't remember. But anyway, long story short, to wrap this up, I'm still maintaining the Exchange open source project. So if there's any Java developers out there who want to get market data or build an app where users can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, then go check out Exchange. It's got over 4,000 stars now, I think, on GitHub.
Man, so I didn't know you ran Exchange. That's really cool. I didn't know you ran Exchange. That's really cool.
Yeah, you've heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
Yep, that's me. Awesome.
Huh. That's okay. Small world.
Yeah. You're gonna find that on our team we have a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds, especially ranging from engineering and physics, as you mentioned, but also going back a long way in Bitcoin and crypto overall. Getting involved in 2013 and 14 with Dogecoin was my entry. So definitely not reading through technical white papers, but more so looking to make a quick buck off of a funny dog token. But I quickly fell in love with the fundamentals of crypto. And I found another project, Redcoin, I think back then, which was like a tipping social currency, which was doing staking, which was one of the first ones there. And I needed to store them in one place. So I started storing them in that wallet we talked about, Coinami. And then fast forward 2 years later, or one or two, I got in touch with that company and said, I want to come and do some kind of work with you on some kind of project. And since then, again, I was really young. I'm still pretty young, you could say. And wallets have just been kind of the backbone of what I've been doing throughout, I guess you could say, a large part of my life, which is strange because crypto is so nascent, and so am I. But it's been really interesting to follow that trend throughout crypto's history, because no matter if price is going up or down, people are installing and using invaluable crypto infrastructure like that. So it's definitely a common thread throughout the team. But yeah, Tim, I'm always learning new stuff about you, and it's always fun to be able to have you on spaces and talk more about the experience.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for the history. It's really cool knowing you guys are OGs in this area. Yeah, I've only been around crypto since. I've only been around crypto since 2018, so it's 5 years. It's really cool. All right, so we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. We're going to hit some questions from the community, but most of the time I think we're just going to talk about so the various projects that you guys are working on, because you're working on so much. And let's just get into it here. How about you start telling us about Koala Wallet? And we'll see if we can answer some of the Koala related questions from the community as we go along.
Yeah, so when Tim and I first got into wallets, they were really developer pushed and developer heavy. We were even talking before the AMA just about products being built up by developers can usually have like amazing developer tool sets and features, but usually they're just not built with user in mind first. So even after working in wallets for that long, we really just saw a lack in proper single and multi-asset wallets overall in the field. So we wanted about a year ago to start with Cadena and to prove our team with our bread and butter of wallet design and support and all the things you got to get right to make a wallet, and say, let's give people a really safe and secure way to store their Cadena, and also prove to them that we can really support of user information, building sub-services around the wallet, such as the Explorer and more. So that's why we chose Koala Wallet as a starting jump-off place for Eucalyptus Labs. Since then, we've been adding a lot of features and keeping up to date with what the community wants. For a long time, we've really focused on user first. What do they need right away? A quick onboarding process, a simple design, a lot of education in the wallet. And now what we're doing is working with a lot of our projects on features like Wallet Connect, deep integrations into the application. So we took it with the user approach, and now we're able to hit more of satisfying what all the projects in the space want, as we kind of take the wallet from being this Trojan horse of just a wallet to more so a multi-tool for accessing your crypto and using it in a lot of different ways. So I guess Tim could definitely speak more to the development process we had and kind of how we learned what we needed to get here. But I guess, Tim, we really did start from scratch, right?
Yeah. When Kobe approached me with the idea originally, my initial reaction was, hell yes, this sounds like an amazing challenge and exactly in the field that I'm most interested in doing. And to have the opportunity to build something from the ground up, from scratch, rather than what I've been used to have happen, which is, come into some project that has tons of technical debt and legacy code and try to patch all that up and refactor it while adding features all under pressure. This was just like a joy to be part of, absolutely. And even though, like I was saying, my background is in Java, I'm mostly a backend developer. I've done some, front-end stuff like with Angular. I've done native iOS and Android for another project. I'm actually here in this German town that I live in. I built the town's, tourism app. I got out of my comfort zone a little bit and started looking around what's the best possible cross-platform technology stack so we can write code in one place and then deploy it to Android, iOS, desktop, so Mac OS, Linux, Windows, and then the browser as well. And there are a few competing frameworks, but long story short, what we decided to do was go with Flutter. And it turned out to be an absolutely amazing decision. We also were very lucky with getting a super experienced, super great developer with tons of experience in Flutter already. Shout out to our Flutter queen, if you're listening. We couldn't be happier with the choice and how things have been going with that decision. If I could go through a couple of the features quickly. I think we have a lot of features that other wallets don't have. Yeah, cool. So I must say, though, give a disclaimer. Right now, all these features that I'm about to list aren't on Apple, on iOS right now. If anyone has developed a cryptocurrency app and tried to get it on the App Store, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know the pain we're feeling.
Are they cracking down or something?
What's that?
Are they cracking down?
I don't know. I think they're just scared. They're scared of the word DEX, it seems like, because of US regulations or something. They don't really tell us. They tend to ignore us basically for 5 to 7 days and then point to some other thing completely unrelated that they have more questions on. It's been quite frustrating. Our app has been in the queue now for 4 weeks in the Apple review process. But anyway, for Android at least, and iOS coming soon, we've integrated KD swaps. So people can, they can have Cadena, the Cadena token in their app, in their wallet, and then swap it for all these other tokens. We have Wallet Connect. We're the first wallet to integrate KIP17, for example. There was always this chicken and the egg problem between the Cadena wallets and the Cadena dapps out there. the wallet, there was no wallet that implemented KIP 17. There was no DApp that implemented KIP 17. So we decided just to, read the KIP and go ahead and implement it. And actually, we just found out today, I believe it was KMC. They've now updated their DApp to KIP 17. And Brenny, our PO for Koala Wallet, was able to test it, and it works. So as of today, we now have a wallet and a DApp in the Kadena world that are communicating over Wallet Connect v2 with the KIP 17 protocol. So that's pretty cool.
Killer. Nice job, guys. Actually, we have some questions surrounding Wallet Connect if you want to branch off into those first.
Yeah, let's branch off.
All right. Here's a good one from George P. What is the status of Wallet Connect and what do developers need to do to enable it? Does it open the door to make any arbitrary DApp work with Koala?
Yeah, so as Tim mentioned, the status is currently live on Android. We're helping a lot of other projects implement Wallet Connect 2.0, which we actually, not too many weeks ago, were in Denver at Ethereum Denver and hanging out with the Wallet Connect team at their WalletCon. And so we did some partnership work with them to fully get it fledged out and into the wallet. You can expect, again, that Apple iOS, it's all about when Mr. Tim Apple puts it through the door, which is really arbitrary. They're not even upset with Wallet Connect. They're just picking on different stuff. But thankfully, again, we've been doing Apple review processes for a while. So this might actually be a faster timeline than it takes some other products to get it out there across any crypto project. Does it open the door to make arbitrary dApps work with Koala? Those on Cadena that have Wallet Connect will be able to function with the wallet. I think that what that question really inspires is that in the future, as more projects add support with Cadena, start building on Cadena, and come to the ecosystem, they have a go-to standard that's right in people's hands and soon right in people's browsers and desktop that they can connect with right away.
Nice.
Yeah, and what I can add to that is there's this, let's call it legacy Wallet Connect v2 interface that all the dApps in the Kadena world implemented in the beginning. So Koala Wallet supports that legacy interface, but also the KIP 17 interface. So it's not like today is the first, dApp that works with Koala Wallet over Wallet Connect v2. It's the first that has implemented the new standard. Too bad our PO Brenny isn't on this call. He could tell us the exact numbers. But I have this Excel spreadsheet in my mind where he listed out all the dApps in the Kadena world, and there was maybe 12 or 14 of them, and he was keeping track of which ones are compatible with Koala Wallet, and I think 6 to 8 of those at least were compatible. So just to give you an idea of the amount of dApps that are currently compatible.
Killer. All right, thanks, guys. That's a tutorial for me too about the Wallet Connect stuff because I don't get to work on it, but it sounds.
Oh, and
really
by the
cool.
way, we worked with the Wallet Connect organization to get funding to build for them an open source library for Wallet Connect v2 for Dart and Flutter. So it's now on their GitHub. It was paid by them, but built by us, and open for all the world to use, not only for Cadena, but for any app company or app producer or any app dev who wants to add Wallet Connect v2 into their Flutter application.
Awesome. All right, so we have some more Koala questions, not surrounding Wallet Connect, if we want to move on. From Morgs. When will Koala Wallet have a GBP on-ramping, and what fees should I expect for a 30-pound transaction?
Sure. So right now we do have on-ramping for a few different currencies through our partner at Simplex. Definitely covers a wide amount of countries, including the US, the UK, lots of Europe. I think that we do. I do think that Simplex does have GBP access for on-ramping about 30 through the wallet. So definitely check out that middle page of the wallet when you open Koala right in your hand, since we've had Fiat on-ramping for a while. The next steps that Tim can elaborate on are that we're looking to integrate more partners and really give users a clear view of two things. First, which is going to give them the best price based off their location, their purchasing method of credit card or a bank transfer, and then also a price comparison of which service is going to give them the most fees, which one is going to give them the most end result, Cadena or crypto. And so that's our next goal. So we like to keep timelines very close at Eucalyptus as to not, tell people something's coming and have, it delayed by a lengthy amount of time. But that's definitely something that we've been working on and we're targeting for the year.
Nice. Yeah. Promise less, deliver more.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with Kobe. I think we already do have GBP on ramping. As far as what the fees are, well, if you just try to do a 30-pound transaction and buy Cadena, it'll show you exactly the fee. We don't know offhand. And that's all determined by our third-party provider, OnRamp, Simplex. It's all going to be displayed to you before you click that buy, of course. And they do have a tiered fee scale. So for 30 pounds, you might be paying, 5% fee. If you bump that up to 300 or 3,000 pounds, it'll scale down to like a 0.1% or 1% fee or something like that. It's tiered.
And just to be clear, we do have pound support in the application. We just got the thumbs up. So you can go right away, click on Cadena. Nice. There's a buy button, and you can get some delivered to your wallet. No going through third-party exchanges and all that stuff. Of course, our partner, but no having to log on and handle transfers later on.
Nice. I'm definitely going to start moving to that. Away from Chainweaver.
Yeah,
I want a simple wallet. It's
and admittedly, our Simplex interface isn't that awesome, but we wanted to get this feature out as soon as possible, and this was the quickest way to market. We integrated Simplex's iframe. So what we do is we get the wallet's address and pass it on to a web view integrated, like an embedded web view in the app. And we load their iframe with our partner key and your address, and you get their HTML page. What Kobe was alluding to, which is on our timeline, I can't promise any date, and in fact, we haven't even started it, but it's one of those high priority things we want to add to the wallet next. We want to integrate their API and turn that interface or that user experience into a native widget. Not only that, we then want to add more third-party providers. So provider A, B, C, and D, one of them being Simplex. And then when the customer or the user of the app wants to say buy 30 pounds of Cadena, they get a ranked list from our backend of the 4 providers, and then they can choose. Maybe they have an account at Simplex, but they don't at provider B. But maybe C is giving an amazing rate, so they can go through them. And then eventually, to extend this idea further, if we eventually add other cryptocurrencies into Koala wallet, then we can also imagine a user interface where they want to swap, say, Bitcoin for Cadena or vice versa. Or maybe the cryptocurrency space has mooned again and they want to sell. So we also plan on having that feature and not only buying, but then also selling, turning your Cadena back into GBP or US dollars.
Nice. All right. Slightly tangential, just because we've got a lot of questions about this, and I'm sure you saw it coming. Are there any plans for a desktop edition of Koala?
Yes, I will take that question. In the meantime, Tim, I think we've outed you. You have your Discord notifications on, so you gotta mute those, or else I think some community members are gonna be spamming us in the chat. Yeah. So desktop and browser. So we've worked previously on a desktop element at that previous company. And what we've decided to do is go with a browser extension. We know it's super popular. A lot of people want to just throw it into their Brave or Chrome browser and get access to the wallet. For us, it's all about how do you make that a really good usable system, not just a copy and paste the application, but providing good UI, providing the best security we can, doing another audit as we've already done with the main application through Red for Security. So that's definitely in the works. We, again, won't give a specific timeline. However, in our experience, we always do feel that that mobile is just a really great place to introduce people to crypto and put the power right into their hands. With Wallet Connect 2.0, you'll always be able to scan your desktop right away so that you can scan into a service or dApp on your browser. So that definitely levels the playing field and makes it easy to connect. But yes, a browser extension is certainly something on the plans and in development already.
Great. It's good to hear.
Yeah, and actually, you can already run Koala Wallet on Mac OS. Not that we specifically developed for it, but Mac OS, with one of its recent updates, allows people to install iOS apps and run it on Mac OS. So those of you out there who do have Mac OS, you could try it and run it on your desktop already.
Great. Well, we've spent a lot of time on Koala Wallet, and you guys are doing a lot of other stuff. So how about we move on to that fancy Explorer that you guys came up with?
Absolutely.
We've got some questions on it. If you
awesome.
Yeah, please give a quick intro, and then we have a bunch of questions.
Oh yeah. Hey, we made an Explorer. We're excited about it. Let's get some questions.
All right. What are the next upgrades to the KDA Explorer? It's a beautiful interface, but I can't completely replace the default Chainweb Explorer due to code search not being available.
Let me right away give a shout out to our product manager for this one, Fernando. Fernando used to work leading a support team for a huge crypto wallet. As you mentioned, we're all really doing this for a while, addressing user concerns. And Fernando kind of understood a lot of the common issues people have with Explorers, a lot of the features that exist on places like Etherscan or Blockchair that we really looked up to. And so he's the one who's taking both his community feedback and his own instruction of what's worked in the past to bring new features out there. On one side, we have a lot of topological updates, such as maybe a light mode in the works, make it a little extra beautiful. And on the other, there's a lot of functionality that the Explorer already has, such as NFT viewing, and really getting into transactions where we'll be able to add larger features such as CSV export of transactions. So if you're doing your crypto taxes, or maybe if you're just trying to see if you're, how much crypto taxes you're doing, you can take them right out of the Explorer to put that into another service. And Tim, you could definitely give them some more of what's coming to the Explorer. And I guess what makes it different than the existing one out there, and why you've probably noticed that it's a heck of a lot faster.
Yes, that was one of our goals, to make it very fast. Because as users of blockchain explorers ourselves, we like it when it's fast and hate it when it's slow. So, but to the last comment on there, you removed it.
Oh, shoot. Here.
Is it too late?
Oh no, it's right here.
Oh, there we go. So when I was hearing this, but I can't completely replace the default Chainweb Explorer due to a code search not being available. I'm sure if other members of our team are watching this, which I'm sure they are, they probably already have a task written in Asana, which is our task tracking tool, to add this feature. So we're very active. Our company is very active in Discord and Twitter and all the social channels. And we love getting feedback, and we definitely write it all down, and it gets into our to-do list. So anytime you have any feature that you want or some bug to report, just let us know, me directly, Kobe directly, anyone, and it'll get into our system.
Yeah, DM on Twitter or hit that feedback button on the bottom right page of the Explorer itself. That's kdaexplorer.com.
Nice. Yeah, actually, I'm looking through here. Turns out that was the only Explorer question.
Yeah, it sounds like that task is actually already on the Asana board. So we got you.
That's awesome.
Nice.
One thing I could talk about, which might be interesting to some people, is about how we integrated NFTs into the Explorer, because that's definitely something the default Explorer doesn't have. And that was one of the biggest challenges, definitely. So besides the standard features of normal Explorers, such as recent blocks, recent transactions, transaction details. KDAExplorer.com has account transaction history for all the tokens, for all the different chains, and then of course NFTs, both in general. We have a page. If you go down to the footer and click on NFTs, you can see all the NFT collections, not all, but I'd say over 80% of them, in the Cadena blockchain, and you can click on, the images and browse those collections. We also have it per user. So if you type in your account, you get a list of all the collections you own NFTs in. And that was very challenging to add to the Explorer because there is no single NFT smart contract standard, which a lot of other blockchains have.
That's a call out on us for finishing Marmalade, right?
Yeah, right. We're looking forward to that. Finishing Marmalade and having one standard, and hopefully all the NFT projects can migrate over to it. Then our job will be much easier when it comes to indexing NFTs. Our full stack developer, Kevin, this is his task, so he could tell you the exact numbers, but I would guess there's at least 5 and maybe up to 10 different NFT standards right now in Cadena. And for each one of those, we had to manually figure out what contract it is, which methods need to be called to get the IDs owned by a certain address. And then you have to map those IDs to some kind of JPEG or something hosted somewhere. Sometimes it's an animated graphic. And to write all that code into some kind of generic framework and do all the scraping and get it all organized in databases and organize the images with the CDN network for quick serving was quite the challenge, but a fun challenge. And yeah, I think our users can appreciate it, having the website there for them to be able to really quickly and easily access that information.
And I'm looking through chat, seeing some more things about the Explorer, and I'll just answer really quickly. Any more chart or graph options for Explorer? Absolutely. We're improving all of those metric views, where we're going to actually have a lot more ways we can play around with things such as transaction volume, looking at where transactions are going through the chain web. So those are all absolutely coming. I didn't even mention them just because they're already far through in design and implementation eventually. So yeah. And
anything you want to see or any cool ideas for statistics or graphs, just let us know.
Yep, like absolutely. A rich list. These things are all in the pipeline. Absolutely.
Great to hear. We actually had one question that ties the NFT discussion back to the Koala wallet, actually. From Mords, could you envision minting integration where it would peg to Fiat, and for that initial transaction of the minting, KDA becomes irrelevant? They pay the mint and the NFTs in their wallet.
It's funny. I'm actually here in Austin. Usually I'm back in New York, since I saw we have some fellow Brooklynites as I out, the general borough that I live in. We are in Austin today, or I guess for the week, at this consensus conference, which I've been to a few times in the past. Really happy to be back. And there's a lot of startups right now that are doing exactly this, where you see a NFT that you want to get, and you're paying right through with Fiat. So we've talked to a few of them. Something that's definitely interesting is, making sure there's enough volume and interest to actually implement a service like this. So while I think it's something that Eucalyptus has not pursued, it's definitely a feature that we might bring into the wallet in the future as we see an uptick in NFT purchasing. But we've definitely been working very hard with marketplaces on Cadena to make sure that we're working with them on Wallet Connect, and so that people can do that on one of our great integrated partners.
I think most of the heavy lifting for this feature could be wrapped up in a dApp, and then you would just need the Wallet Connect to carry it out. Might be the easiest solution here.
Yeah, rereading the question, I think so. Yep.
Okay. Well, just in the interest of time, because we have a lot to cover here, I believe we've got 10 minutes at least to go. So let's cover quickly the next few topics here. We've got a new website called Kadena Keys. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, let's talk about Kadena Keys.
Should I talk about it, Kobe?
Let's talk about it.
All right. So one thing that was really important for us is wallet interoperability, because, as we said before, we came from a background, almost all of us on the team, well, I'd say at least half of us, for sure the directors of the company, from a multi-asset wallet company in the past. And one of the main pain points was recovery phrase, interoperability between wallets. For example, say we have wallet XYZ and we want to transfer that user into wallet ABC. in wallet XYZ, they probably use some kind of 24 recovery phrase, or also known as mnemonic phrase or seed phrase. And they try to import that into wallet A, B, C, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's the wallet developer's decision what BIP 39, BIP 32, BIP 44 standard they're going to implement. And what has happened, unfortunately, is all these different wallets went off and did all their own things before the community said, hey, slow down, everyone. Let's actually make a standard. So the cat got out of the bag, and now it's out, and it's too late. But still, people have written the BIP 39, BIP 32, BIP 44 standards, and people and wallets are starting to implement those things, which is good. So to answer the question, what is KadenaKeys.io? Well, in order to help this problem and to support the community and make wallets interoperable in the community Kadena ecosystem, we're creating this KadenaKeys.io website. So you can enter your, I wouldn't recommend doing this on the live site, but you can download the source code, run it locally on a machine that isn't connected to the internet. And you can enter your 24-word recovery phrase from Koala and export your key pairs or the key pair, so private and the public key. Then, for example, you could open up Chainweaver. If it allows you to import a private key, I'm not quite sure it does anymore. I think that feature might have been taken out from what I hear, but that's the idea anyway. Or maybe Chainweaver would allow you to export your key pairs. Then you could, well, teaser, we're going to be adding the ability to import key pairs into Koala, as well as 12-word recovery phrase that are compatible with Chainweaver and what's the other one? Eco Wallet, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or Echo Wallet.
Echo Wallet. So yeah, in summary, to answer the question, KadenaKeys.io is a tool that people can use to have their wallets interact with each other better at the key level. Maybe you can explain that a little bit better than I did, Kobe, at a non-technical level.
I mean, essentially what we're doing is making it easier for people to come and bring their Cadena or their cryptocurrency from a different wallet into a really safe native environment on Koala. And like Tim mentioned, it's not just for Koala. It's going to be very compatible to support all different types of wallets and people importing their phrases from many different formats. I think that a large thing of alpha that we've discussed before is bringing in Bitcoin into the application to be, another liquidity pair to Cadena, future coins coming in. And this is just another way that we can make it easier for people to get accessibility into Koala wallet and to really just have a really safe place to store their Cadena. So Kadena Keys is
something like a password or key vault for the blockchain or any supported pairs.
Well, I guess the clearest, parallel we can draw is the Ian Coleman website. So there used to be a website, there still is, that's out there that allows you to do this. You look up Ian Coleman 39. And so we're just updating it, putting a really beautiful UI over it, because that's what we do at Koala and Eucalyptus. And so we're going to, again, the really important thing is that between my explanation and Tim's, we have an amazing team of support folks and communicators who are going to be putting out documentation, videos, all that information for users so that there's no guesswork involved. You can go and learn how to download that site and run it yourself. So that we'll save you the heavy lifting. Now, I should take a minute, though, since we're about 38 minutes in. We still have, I think, 63 people, I guess 62 plus Tim's mom. And this is where I have to plug what's really important to us. A lot of people say, was there an ICO? Is there a Koala NFT? How are you guys funding this operation? And the truth is we're doing it internally. The VC has not touched Eucalyptus yet. So far, it's been all company owned, privately funded. And the most impactful thing you can do, don't go out and buy a Koala token. There isn't anyone yet, and there won't be, is leaving a 5-star review on the App Store. So this is where I really plug it hard. If you take a moment right now to go and leave 5 stars and put your favorite crypto buzzwords as to why you like using Koala, it really helps us beyond words. We have about 100 reviews on both right now. So even if half the people here went and reviewed, we'd be upping that 20%. So if you have the moment now to go and leave a 5-star review, drop Emily's name and say that she did a great time hosting this AMA, which Shirley has. we
Thank you.
greatly appreciate it. It helps us the most. So no need to invest. Well, we're going to handle all that stuff. But those 5-star reviews help us greatly to keep pushing out new products and new updates to Koala and all of our products.
Great. Yeah, everyone, go smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and go give a 5-star review to Koala. Finally get to do that, right? All right. I don't think we have any questions surrounding this stuff. It's everyone loves the alpha drop, so let's keep moving here. Would you like to tell us about the Cadena Project Network?
Yeah, let's and then we could do, I guess, some speed round questions as we finish it off. Cadena Project
Yeah.
Network. When we started Eucalyptus Labs a year ago, and we were planning a lot around it in the time before, shortly, we said we need to learn all we can about the Cadena projects, the Cadena ecosystem. Where can we go to do it? There was a site built by Vicky D called Cadena Info, or maybe Cadena Ecosystem.info. We got in touch and we said, hey, can we take over this project and really make it our own? And that's what we did. We did two things. We launched a website called KadenaEcosystem.com, where you can go and learn all about the projects on Cadena. You can click on them and go right to their websites or social media and learn just a blurb about them. And we also threw up a Twitter that had been around for a while and revamped it with our amazing host, Chris, who does an AMA or two just about every week, talking to projects, learning about them, bringing out that research for users to get involved in. They take a lot of questions. They make a lot of Cadena memes. We try to be hands-off from a Koala perspective because they've interviewed every wallet and service out there. And Chris and Michelle and the team over there just does an amazing job really pushing Cadena out there into the Twitterverse and really across the spectrum. We like to say that Eucalyptus gets to be kind of the cool kid of saying to everyone, look how great Cadena is, because it's hard to market yourself as a cryptocurrency without sounding like you're a shill and just saying, oh, Cadena, we're the coolest, we're the best. Like, no one wants to brag. They want other people to talk about them. And that's what we really are. We bring out that news and we help people get involved. So that's a bit about Cadena Project Network. Definitely check out what Cadena just put in the chat, KadenaEcosystem.com. Chris is hanging out here. And yeah, that's a bit about the network. If you don't see a project there that and you like, go and help them get involved and list it up there. And I guess the only alpha for that site that might be coming soon is we're looking at putting language translations in there so that, again, we're just making it more accessible for the global communities to learn about projects and to get involved.
Great. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. Let's do some fast questions here. We've got a few that are still lying around. We've got one more from Cadena Ireland here. In regards to ZK-based Layer 2 being developed on top of Cadena's L1, is this being developed by Cadena or an eco project? I have a solution here. It's both, because some of our eco projects are going to be our Layer 2s, and some of our Layer 2s are going to be provided by Cadena, and Cadena is going to be providing the native interaction with the blockchain to make that stuff work. But if there is an eco project out here that wants to make use of the different settlement format, maybe take Cadena transaction outputs and publish or roll them up and do their own fancy sort of verification and publish the results back to the blockchain, I think you would probably have to get in touch with the team and see what we can do to help you interact with our blockchain or integrate even with our blockchain more effectively. And it's honestly up to the project, but we hope, and we have seen a lot of interest in Layer 2s coming onto the network. And we are at work developing our proofs of concept, which will be published sometime this summer, which have been chugging along really nicely. You'll notice Andy Tang, who's been sort of heading the contract integration, has been hard at work, and Randy's team have been hard at work doing the integration. The Pact team is just gearing up to do the native support in the Pact language to support publishing to other networks and settling from other networks. Yeah, things are cranking along. We really hope that both Cadena and eco projects can work together on this one. What's Koala's interest in Layer 2?
Koala's interest, it is very present and lively. As you mentioned, Layer 2s have gotten a lot of attention for the real solutions they provide. both consumers, but also builders. I mean, mostly builders, and definitely future institutions who are coming to build on chain. So we find it really necessary, and also that Cadena is well positioned. A lot of people like to talk about how long they've been around. You guys have been here 2016, 17, and you've been building this wealth of information and technology and solutions to problems that people have. So to see that Cadena is now taking all of what's been learned and applying it to a really current conversation and jumping into the L2 conversation, I think it's really exciting. It's a great sign of what's to come for Cadena. And again, I think that those who have taken their time and built slowly and not moved too fast to break things are really going to be rewarded in this next market cycle, and also the upcoming year of all that Cadena is planning to announce. We get to be really close and have our ear to the ground when we're talking on wallet development calls or with the team like Randy about what's coming next in developer tooling. So we get to be super internally excited. And it sounds like Cadena also has really new and invigorated plans on marketing communications to get that out to the community and the broader crypto network. So I think the L2 solutions is just going to be playing a really big part in that strategy. And we'll be right alongside Cadena in helping getting that news out, bringing those users in, and giving them the best-in-class wallet solution. So there's a tagline.
Fantastic. Thank you. Do we have any more questions from users?
I guess I saw a question or two about ledger support. That's just, listen, That's not on Cadena. That's not their fault. I'll blame them when we need to, but it's not Emily. Don't, send threats. Ledger takes their time. We've been working and talking to Ledger. They honestly, they try to buy out a company that I was working with a few years ago too. And they take their time for everything. They're going to gatekeep this, and we hope to see developments. But when they do move on that, we'll definitely be there to integrate and provide options in Koala Wallet.
Right. So we've got a little bit of an update on that. I don't know if this dropped either on the channels or in the last. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Or in the last campfire that I did, but Ledger has given us an update, right? Our app was pending in their store for a while, and it was kind of just floating out in limbo, waiting for them to give it the stamp. And they came back to us and said, okay, we're trying to take the onus off of ourselves, off of Ledger, to do the review on whether or not a particular app is secure. So what we want, and this is a good thing, they've actually told us what they want, which is an audit from a third-party company. So what's in Kadena's court now is finding a company that we trust to do this and doing it as quickly as possible, and coming back to Ledger and saying, hey, look, app's secure. Once we get that done, it shouldn't take more than 2 months at most, as these things usually go. It's usually over the course of a month, and then a month for fixes. Then it's up to Ledger again. And they haven't given us any roadblocks. So,
the sad thing is, though, it took Ledger like a year to tell you that. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah, unfortunately. But understandable in this case, because the market did just go.
Yeah, right.
They probably have to deal with a lot of people, and they're only so big.
Mm-hmm.
Something we focus on a lot in education resources is helping people that can't access a ledger or an expensive hardware device. I mean, listen, over 1.5 billion people are going to be using crypto in places where a ledger costs more than they'll make in a month's salary. I guess that number would be more like 300 million people, but it's still the same huge number. On an air-gapped device, generating your wallet code as a safe key, and then writing it down and putting it in the vault, or committing it to memory. Those solutions are just as safe, if not safer, than a hardware device. So we're going to keep pursuing making the best technology so that you could, reboot your old Android device and use that as your hard wallet, since we think that's going to be much more of a viable and necessary option for bringing finance to the masses than an expensive device that you got to use 2 fingers on. I have a ledger; it's in my backpack. I love it, but we just have to be realistic about what people are looking for and the solutions that we need to provide them with. So we're going to help push Cadena, I guess, now, and get some auditor to come and check that out. But just remember that we're working on a lot of other solutions as well that are going to be massively applicable.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're slightly over time. If we, want to answer more questions, or we're basically done. choice is up to you guys. Usually we cap this thing at either 45 minutes or somewhere in between 45 minutes or an hour if chat's going well. But it sounds like we've run out of questions and people are relatively happy. So I think we can call it here.
Awesome.
Anything you'd like to say?
Koala after dark hours.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to say in closing?
We're hiring. Cadena is hiring. Lots of projects are hiring. Go and check out job applications that are open on kadenaecosystem.com and also eucalyptuslabs.com. Since we've got almost too many websites today, I'm waiting on Ron for one last question. But there's lots of people hiring in the space, not only for tech wizards. So get involved, get in those communication channels, and go follow Eucalyptus Labs and Koala Wallet on Twitter. We really appreciate those 5-star reviews. We're going to get notifications for who actually did them in just a few minutes on our iPhones. So we'll know if you said you did and you didn't. But we really appreciate it. Is there any other questions?
Ron, you're going to publish that question?
Ron, you got to move fast, bud.
Come on, Ron.
Tim, you got any closer while Ron figures out?
No, I'm just waiting to say bye to my mom.
Okay, you hold on for just a moment. Let's see if we got.
We're calling Ron out. I think we can probably call it there. Anyway, sorry, Ron.
DM us.
Next time,
DM me on Twitter anytime, man. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Follow our updates from Austin as we take consensus. And Emily, thank you so much. We look forward to another campfire with you and the team very soon.
Cheers. See you guys next week.
Emily.
And anytime you guys want to come on, just shoot us a message. So
cool outro
Excellent.
music.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Peace.